Hey, Jared, welcome back to Smack Talk.
Hey, Austin, welcome back to Smack Talk.
Thanks for having me. So we just watched Deadpool and Wolverine
Yeah.
opening night.
Opening midday now on a Thursday. They used to do like late night Thursdays, like 12 o'clock
That's
showings.
midday Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's a fucking square.
We're always not sure what to put as background footage, so we're just going to do Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap has Deadpool in it, so I'm just going to do a deck where all the characters that we saw in Deadpool are my deck. There's no synergy here whatsoever. I will likely lose every match.
I have faith in you. That's not such a bad spread
It's pretty bad. I wish I had unlocked Casanova before today, but I haven't really been playing a lot, so we'll just do with these kind of side characters mostly.
Well, her name really is an extension of Casanova, because it's Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, the movie.
Okay, first, before we go too far into that, I have a fun little, I have a sound for you.
Uh-huh. I got so pissed. I swear to God, dude, when Alamo opens back up, I'm never fucking going back to Cinemark. Like 3 out of 4 experiences I've had at Cinemark now are fucking awful. This stupid kid who brings their kid to a premiere at 5 o'clock of a Marvel movie that's rated R, and their kid's just messing with the fucking the fucking electric chairs. I wish I had the electric chair after that.
For 2 hours straight behind Jared and a kid was just going up and down the recliner.
I know the parts of the movie that I missed, and I have to rewatch at some point because of this experience. God, it pisses me off. And you say your experiences are not bad at Cinemark, but oh my God. Not to mention Lord of the Rings. Anyways, we'll get it to a different time.
Shots. Someone just caught a stray in this room.
Not the movie. Anyways, the actual movie we watched, what'd you think?
I think you should go first.
Okay.
I think I have the hotter take. I think.
The hotter take?
I suspect. I don't know. You might surprise me with your take.
For Austin? Okay, well, I do think maybe it's recency bias. I think this is definitely the best Deadpool movie. Okay. I think it had way more weight than the rest of them. A lot of them, like, one worked very well because it was just conceptually interesting. Like, for the superhero genre, there's not really, like, we're going to really test the gore and sex and whatever and, like, the jokes of it all until Deadpool. And it was cool when it came out. Now it's a little bit dated, I think. And Deadpool 2 even was like just more like we're doing a bunch of jokes, we're doing some time travel stuff, whatever. Deadpool 3, I think actually went into some character moments, did a lot of stuff that was like referential to the production of movies themselves, and was a genuinely beautiful love letter to like some cinematic stuff that has happened in the last 20 years, 25 years or whatever. That gets like waylaid to the side. So I don't know. I guess I don't want to be made fun of too much. I think this is one of my favorite movies, MCU movies in a while at least. Maybe not. I want to say it's like top 8 or something. But I love a lot of movies in the MCU. But this just had so much emotional weight behind it, including like the end credit sequence just being like, here's behind the scenes footage from like all the X-Men movies and Fantastic Four stuff and all the Fox properties. That, I don't know, that's just so sweet. That has never been portrayed like that in any of these movies, I think. You know, like just thanking all the people that put all their time into this just for it to die, really, you know?
Mm-hmm. I do like that a lot. I want to give it a big praise. I think it's a really interesting concept of like, here's all the dead properties and we're gonna give them an homage.
That's your sad voice.
What?
That's your voice where you're like, but.
Oh yeah, but.
Oh my God.
This movie's like a 4 out of 10 for me. This movie's trash.
What the fuck? Oh my God.
Okay. This movie's fun, and if you like fun movies, then this movie's fun. 10 out of 10 fun.
What do you think it was trying
Quality,
to be?
good. This is the same thing. We had this fight again with like the third Spider-Man movie. And it's just like, whatever. Like, if I want something good, I'm not going to this movie.
What do you mean? Good is relative, and what it's aiming for, and if it hits it, is like the metric by which I think I
think it's aiming for fun. And,
yeah.
Okay.
And so it's fun as shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how. I mean, it's fun for a first experience. This isn't. I have no interest in watching this again. I think I'll just go to YouTube and watch like the best clips, the opening montage of killing
but
all
even
of the TVA.
You know, like you admit that is how some movies are better enjoyed, anyways. And it's like,
As a
okay,
first experience, and that's it.
no, not as a first experience, but like past the first experience. Like this is not necessarily meant to be rewatched. It's meant to say
I
like a sayonara
genuinely
to
think I
Wolverine.
I genuinely think I have only two compliments to give this movie, and I
What
think
the
it's
fuck?
one, fighting choreography, amazing.
Okay, that's like
10 out of 10 fighting
30% of the
choreography.
movie. Yeah.
Sure. I don't think it's meant to be solely an action movie,
Uh
but
huh.
like if you want to make that argument, then sure, great action movie. Action choreography, 10 out of 10. Them fighting in the Honda Odyssey, that might be in my top 10
Yeah.
action scenes of all time. That was really good, I think.
Jesus Christ, how are we doing this? But 4 out of 10 is
Just
like,
as
how
a
can you include
movie.
such good pieces, but then come out?
No,
What
I'm
do
just
you
saying
think it
as a
was supposed
movie.
to be then?
No, this is like I agree with the criticism that in-game or not even in-game, Infinity War, or both actually, are like experiences, not movies. And like if you evaluate them as an experience, it's 10 out of 10. But if you evaluate them as a movie, they're kind of middling, and it's like okay.
I think that's so limiting to the idea of what a movie is that it can't be closer to an experience, that it's just there, like distinguishing that it isn't a movie or it isn't a proper good movie is just there to functionally say it doesn't hit the points that other movies do.
I I want to preface that I did like it. I had a good time.
That's good.
I
I'm
have
glad.
no interest in ever seeing anything from here ever again. I probably won't think about it much beyond fight scenes.
I don't know if it's asking
Like,
for that.
I think it is because we happened to watch the hot ones before we went to the movie, and that
Uh-huh.
maybe was a bad call on your part because it reset my expectations. Because Ryan Reynolds
Oh
said
my God, all
that
about the
like
expectations.
Ryan Reynolds said that like people come to the movies and they'll see the action pieces, but the thing they remember are the character moments. So we wanted to make sure that there were really good
Uh-huh.
character moments, and I got to give that like a D minus
You
because like
God,
we've already
I
done
don't
all these
under-
beats. There's nothing original for a character moment, and I feel like the character moments are kind of lackluster as a whole anyway.
How do you mean we've already done all these beats?
Deadpool's arc and Wolverine's arc have been done multiple times. We're good. Deadpool's already learned how to be a hero in all three movies now. Wolverine's already learned that he's how to be a hero in his own way in pretty much every movie he's ever been in. We're not doing anything new. Not that we have to. It's fine. If this is meant to be a fun action fest, that's fine. I wouldn't have criticized it for its character arcs had I not seen the
The
hot ones. Yeah.
You can't. You can't
No, I'm just
go
saying.
based off that.
No, I'm just saying it
You
seems like
can't
Ryan
add
Reynolds.
the PR to the
I am.
the movie. That's
if
even
they're
less so
trying
the
to
movie
make-
than the movie. Like
If they're trying to make a real movie, they didn't do it. Is my opinion on the matter.
okay, sure.
This is a fun time.
Yeah, I still think that there's like validity and storytelling within a lot of stuff that gets waylaid to the side. Like I said, waylaid fucking again. I only know 2 words. But I think that like you're separating
How late did you get?
way.
Wait.
Anyways, I think that there's some amount of value lost in people distinguishing that like, oh, the fight choreography was good. There you go, bitch.
I won one.
Yeah, just one. Have you lost any? I haven't been paying.
I think this is my second match. Might be my third.
An 8 too. Oh no, this is great. You're
Yeah, I just got a
kicking
ticket.
ass.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. I think that distinguishing like the fight choreography from the rest of the story is an example of how people like almost segregate what is the movie part and what is the like, oh, you just came here to have fun part. And I think that's a mistake because on some level, to me, if everybody who's in the production is putting in a lot of work, I'm more likely to come out of it with a positive review, and I don't just like rely on the writing. I don't want to just rely on the writing or like the jokes or the whatever or the plot specifically. Any of those only singular things specifically to determine my review of the movie. You know, like
There's
I
just
sat there and I
so-
had a 9 out of 10 time. Probably.
There's just so many movies that are both fun and good. So like,
yeah.
just fun isn't good enough for me. So like, as a reviewer, as like someone, like I try to be always objective when I'm viewing movies. My experience, I'll agree, 9 out of 10. It was fine. Like
that's what I'm looking for.
the
If somebody
experience 9
told
out
me,
of
"Hey,
10,
you're
but the
about to
movie.
walk in and watch a 9 out of 10 movie," I'd go like, "Okay," and then I came
No,
out of it, I'd be
but
like,
I
"Oh
didn't
wow,
say
that's
that.
nice."
Nah, I didn't say that though. I didn't say you're about to watch a 9 out of 10 movie.
Oof.
I said you're about to have a good time.
Uh-huh.
I had a good time. I think you'll have a good time if you like Marvel at all. If you like Deadpool at all, you'll enjoy it. I think I agree with you. This is probably the best Deadpool in terms of enjoyment.
Where do you think it lost you?
It never got me
It never got you.
as a movie. It never got me.
Interesting. It got me at some point.
What
It didn't
moment?
have me until they were self-acknowledging that like, hey, the first Wolverine Deadpool fight was like, this is something we would like to see. And then seeing it and it being good, I think for the first time in a while, it felt like, oh shit, yeah, I'm watching what I want to see on screen, whether or not it's like circumstances are perfect. It is somebody executing something with love that like visually hasn't been on screen for me, you know?
Yeah.
And that was when it got me. I was like, okay, we're doing this for people. We're doing this for the audience and for the people who are in this movie.
Interesting. So I would like to transition to my second big piece of criticism.
Uh-huh.
Because while I appreciate it, because let me say a few things. First, I was the big fanboy of Fantastic Four. I've always defended the original Fantastic Four movies. I think they are the perfect amount of camp. All the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire defenders, you should also be defending the Fantastic Four movies because those are equally good in my opinion.
I haven't seen the second one in a while, but the first one, yeah,
I
just
think
as
it's
good as
solid.
the first Spider-Man movie.
If we're gonna keep everything in mind, like time it was made and all that, like
Yeah,
I think
the Thing costume
I like
is
it.
really good.
Yeah. I think the Thing has some good emotional like moments. I think about that a lot where he can't fall in love because he's like ugly. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But you know, I built like a whole alter persona around the idea of like, what if I was the Human Torch and like I could like turn to fire? Like that was my thing until I realized so many people were doing it because there was Human Torch, Ben 10's Heat Blast was coming out. I just had another one in my Zuko from like Avatar was like getting popular. So it was like lots of people who were like all fire based to where I had to like stop.
Early cavemen knew about fire being cool, dude.
I know, but I had to let it go. As a kid, I'm saying I love the idea of being surrounded by fire, and then it felt like the world was stealing my idea everywhere I turned, and it was better than I had thought of.
With a yo-yo that's also a bouncy ball, that happened to me. I came up with that.
Okay.
Anyways.
So I just want to say, okay, so the Human Torch thing, spoilers. Did we ever say spoilers? Surely you know. Don't watch a review ever if you don't want spoilers. Anyways, Human Torch super resonates with me. I was the cringe kid refreshing Facebook every 30 minutes to see if there was a Gambit update. And like, I was super happy that Channing Tatum, the guy who made me laugh super hard in 21 Jump Street, was going to be cast. I was like, oh yeah, baby, this is it. So that's for me. I thought the Daredevil movie, when I first saw it, was amazing. The fight scene with Daredevil versus Elektra in the park, and like he's pretending to be blind, and they're like also playing basketball.
I haven't seen this, so you're pitching to me something absolutely insane.
I really liked that fight scene. I really liked the Daredevil movie. It was when I was more Catholic as well, and so I was like, yeah, Catholic superhero, finally, representation. Like, I didn't think those thoughts, but you know, I was just like, he's like me for real. So the seeing Elektra though is for me. Like I liked Elektra. I loved Blade. I didn't know it was Marvel for the longest time. I thought it was just like this super badass vampire movie. I remember being like 15 years old and I was like, Dad, you showed me this crazy like vampire movie when I was a kid and I just can't stop thinking about it. What was that? Because I can't find it anywhere. And then he was like, it's Blade. I was like, what? That's cringe and whatever. But it was, you know, whatever.
I think Blade was really well loved.
No,
people are coming back around on it at least.
Yeah, no, I liked Blade a lot
Trinity
too.
Was bad, right?
That's the one with Ryan Reynolds in it. But
yeah,
no, I thought Blade as a whole was really good. But it, like, I had a hate-love relationship with it, I guess, growing up.
Yeah.
So I'm just all I wanted to say was like all those like cameos and secondary characters. Like, I think I'm the target audience. That's meant to appeal to me. But I still think, what a fucking crazy, dumb idea. I would never approve this if I was Kevin Feige. It's concept only to me because it's like, yeah, what if we just had like
that's
this nice...
why it's okay.
Sure. What if we had this nice homage to all the Fox characters? Like, I'm here for it. I like it. But I still think it's like lackluster to me. I'm still giving it a 4 out of 10.
Do you think the execution is bad or do you think it shouldn't have been done at all?
No, I think the execution was great. I like seeing a premise just being thrown out. No, the concept's 10 out of 10. The execution was really good. I feel like they gave all those characters a really good moment, except for Human Torch, surprisingly. But I guess he has his cool moments in the
They
Fantastic
kind of
Four
said
movies.
the budget was through the roof.
Oh,
I believe it.
Whatever.
What do you mean?
That's just a joke.
Sure, but like on some levels, like Ryan Reynolds is out here trying to make creative decisions, and he's putting his own money on the line sometimes, and it's like a little bit respectable in terms of what
It could have been a cool Human Torch sequence if they wanted there to be. It's fine.
There was sort of one.
It's not a big deal. What happened? They keep retreating. Am I winning? I'm winning.
You did really well.
I'm distracted.
You're zoning out.
Okay. Here's what I want to say. So rewind a little bit because here's what I'm trying to say. I have my mind is crystallizing.
It sounds like you're saying it shouldn't have happened.
No. I'm saying Marvel is at a low point right now, okay?
Uh-huh.
The correct move, I would think, marketing-wise, is we need to get the new teenagers in on this idea, right? The people who weren't seeing it in theaters, the people who are watching all these on Netflix, right? We need to get these people more hyped, more excited to get back into the theater so the MCU can continue and like live on, right? Doing the homage for the old teenagers, for me, who's seeing these in theaters, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't think
That's
anyone...
why it doesn't
this
have to
isn't
make
the-
sense. This is a passion project.
If it's a passion project, then like, so be it. But like, it's supposed to be more than that. This is supposed to be the, oh, we're so back movie.
No, I don't think that's true.
That's how they wanted it to be, and it is not that.
I don't think that's true. I think the Marvel Jesus thing got like blown out of proportion, and it is mostly this is like that is the only thing within this movie that tells you that. Everything else is like from the get-go, they're like, okay, how are we gonna do a Wolverine movie without ruining Logan? And then they just go, we're gonna fucking ruin it. And it's like, okay, cool, that's what we're doing. That's what the movie's telling you they're doing. Deadpool's whole Marvel Jesus thing is a joke. We're doing jokes,
But
and it is.
I disagree. I think this movie was set out to do 3 objectives: be awesome action, check; be a really funny, so depending on who you are. Some people find it funnier than others. I'm in the middle on this. And to be the we're so back movie, because Marvel's in a lull right now, and that's
What
a
do you
miss.
mean by we're so back? Because on some level, like a really cool action movie that's funny and whatever and is fun to sit down and watch is some of what Marvel set out to do in the first place. Like there is interconnectivity and all this, but like essentially people have been complaining for upwards of 5 years that like there's too much to catch up on or whatever, and this just did, we're just doing a one-off movie with whatever.
It's not a one-off movie. It requires a lot of prior viewing, and like you probably should see all those other movies to appreciate it more, right?
I haven't seen Blade, I haven't seen Elektra, and I was perfectly happy with whatever. I even think watching this now makes me kind of want to go back and watch the old shit. Like seeing Blade for the first time and it being actually pretty badass is like, okay. And actually, maybe I'm sold.
I'll buy into maybe that is the logic. Let's make a movie that makes people want to go back and watch.
I'm not even saying
old
that.
movies?
I feel like you're trying to pitch it to me as a product, and I'm not that concerned with that because it doesn't feel like Ryan Reynolds and all the executive producers and everything were like concerned with that as much as they were like framing this as like, okay, all these people who came together to try to be these characters that didn't necessarily work out, we're going to give you, one last send off. And it was like, thank you for participating in our big experiment, Some of it was more jokey, Chris Evans's Human Torch or whatever, but like bringing back the guy who plays Pyro to do an actual role where he's like basically, like not main character, but like a main side character, like he's the main evil henchman is like, I don't know. If you're the guy who plays Pyro and you liked this character at all back in the day, it's like, well, I don't know. We're doing something with this, We're able to bring some more value to this than there was with it just pittering off and nobody caring. I think that's sweet. I think it's nice. I think the Toad guy gets a whole fucking fight sequence that's like cool with him. The Juggernaut guy who got, he was made to say, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, or whatever. It's like
Surprising that he
gets to
didn't
come back.
say it. Yeah.
Well, you know what the story is with that, right?
No, what?
Apparently that's from a YouTube poop or whatever, like somebody made of the X-Men cartoon, and the director of that X-Men movie made the Juggernaut guy say it even though he didn't want to say it. It was just too stupid. and then like he made him say it, and so he was like, ugh. Everybody hated it at the
I
time.
liked it. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was fine, but knowing the context, I can understand why it was annoying.
Mm,
But like in execution, not knowing anything outside of it, I thought it was fine.
yeah.
I think the guy himself, I may be misquoting this, but I think he was like, "Why do I call her a bitch? It seems mean," because it is just Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde's like taunting him, yeah, and stuck him in the ground.
Uh,
And then she's like, "Ha, you thought you could catch me?" And then
Is
he's like,
she-
"Do you know who you're fucking with?
is she
It's
being
the
a bitch?
Juggernaut, bitch."
She might be being a bitch.
I think it's fine.
But yeah, like
Um,
all that stuff is very, I don't know. To me, the credit sequence like cements it to me, and like we got all the stuff about him joining the MCU like already done within the first 5 minutes of like him getting rejected by Happy Hogan. And it's like, okay, we've done that job. Now we're doing what is a Deadpool and Wolverine movie, you know?
I I'm surprised that this is what it is. I guess is ultimately what I want to say.
I don't think I was.
We're called Smack Talk. I'm Smack Talking it. I just don't think that this is. I just think it's fun. It's fine. I think it's fun. All the Deadpool movies are whatever. I think I'm gonna retcon my opinion. I think Deadpool 1's the best in terms of what it is. I feel like if I was gonna revisit any of them, it would be that one.
Yeah.
And like I just don't think I'll think about this movie ever again beyond the action sequence.
You say that so harshly. Almost certainly you will think about it,
I don't think so.
but like in passing or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. That's my criticism. I don't think I'll ever think about this movie again, except for maybe the Honda Odyssey car fight.
That's so vicious.
and
of
I
an
really think
insult. I'd like to say that you won't ever think about it. It's like history will not remember you, and your legacy dies here.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Like,
that's my
that's-
critique. I'm trying to be that harsh with it.
Jesus.
I like it. I'm
It
saying
just
this
wasn't that bad.
I'm saying this especially because like I mean I'm kind of
Keep winning.
it's the same guy who keeps retreating. I fought the same guy 8 times. He just plays until round 3 and then he retreats. Sometimes people do this just to get the dailies done. They just play and just trigger stuff to get the normal missions. Whatever. It's fine. That's 2 out of 3 wins though. With this Deadpool Wolverine deck. And I was gonna say I was gonna be even harsher because I think the only reason I'll even think about the Honda Odyssey scene is just because it's such a cliche to have like a fight in a vehicle that I'll just likely see it in another movie, and I will think back and think, you know what, Deadpool Wolverine did that better. But I think that's really it. I said I like the thought. The people that were in the writers' room and were like trying to theorize who can we include in this.
But like
crazy
you
idea
sat
of,
there
like,
and laughed at fucking Blade going retarded.
Is that
It's
a
like,
good thing? Is that are we putting that in the
Huh?
positive column?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's
It was
shocking.
a funny
It's the
joke.
same reason why I laugh at although this is a good movie, the Puss in Boots when the dog just starts doing expletives. It's just shocking. If you shock me, I'll usually laugh.
Both of those are funny. Those are funny jokes. Like whoever wrote those knows what comedy is in terms of timing and whatever. It's not accidental for sure, you know? Like they're written jokes that you just laugh at. No, shock is also knowing when to use shock, you know? You're taking away points from it, I feel like on parts where you can, like just to validate that it's like what's the opposite of a recency bias? Like recency hatred.
I just sat there and at no point was I like, man, Marvel really did it this time. Or like, man,
It's
this
not
was
going to be
worth
that
making.
for a while.
Or like,
you know, we're not going to
Yeah.
get there. The only time we will get there, maybe, if we get there, is whatever Kang Dynasty is now. Is where, like, if the Russo brothers and McFeely and whatever his name is come back for writing, and they do an Avengers Infinity War, and they somehow manage to make it all make sense, that will be the moment. None of these other movies are going to be that unless we're, like, pitching for something powerful, and the only thing this one was pitching with was like, okay, we're sending off Wolverine probably, or we're trying to do this correctly with Wolverine, a character that is beloved by all, and can we do it successfully? And I think it was perfectly good at that.
I just think it's not better than Logan at doing that. It only, to me, it almost just feels like a checkbox movie. It's like, okay, well, we wish Hugh Jackman's Wolverine could have been the MCU. Checkbox on that. we adopted Fox. We want to make sure everyone feels like that's all really canon. So let's checkbox all the movies we can. And like, yep, they're all officially canon. Here they are in a real official MCU scene, not just retconned
You're
in.
not like creative. You're not being creative enough to figure out like what could have been so much worse that it would be a checkbox. Like a checkbox is let's just show footage from those other movies in little Doctor Strange portals or whatever, like that's checkbox. This was like, okay, we're gonna bring everybody back. We're gonna give them cool moments, something to do. We're gonna like actually make what's his name, the guy who plays Gambit, and Channing Tatum do like a really really awful accent. I hated the accent. If you zeroed in on that for me, I was like, oh jeez, that did not hit with me. I'm so
glad. Make me the
glad.
contrarian because I didn't mind the accent.
I'm so glad that he didn't get cast as that. I wasn't jazzed about it in the first place, and now I'm so happy it didn't happen. Even the look was like, his head is too like wide. I don't know. I couldn't do it. Plenty of other people could do it better.
Okay, I just want to recap my opinion one last time. All I want to say is I had a good time. It's fun. I think there's going to be tons of teenagers and the like who like YouTube a lot of these fight sequences and watch them over and over and over again. But I just think that's it. Fun, cool, but there's just so many.
I'm so curious.
So like John Wick is full of action, but it still like manages to be like a good movie with like a somewhat interesting narrative. Yeah,
I haven't seen them.
Okay, there's like.
Can we go back to the last Marvel movie you really enjoyed? What was that? Like on the level that it's a different experience than this.
I just feel like we're framing me as a contrarian because people don't like Eternals, but I thought Eternals was good.
I did think Eternals was good too. We did it on the channel. It's here. It's documented. But what do you think? What do you think was
Spider-Man
different
was
there?
Fine. I'm trying to think of what even are the recent Marvel movies.
The new Captain Marvel, Black Panther 2.
Didn't see it. Oh, I thought that was good.
You didn't see the new Captain Marvel? Oh,
no.
That was okay.
I did see the second Black Panther, and I thought that was really good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think that's hitting that this isn't in terms of like it's more of a movie?
That was a movie because it had like a story to tell through characters, and there was character arcs and tough moments and like real drama and like cinematic moments more than just like fun stuff to see on screen. There was like,
here's what I'm not gonna paint you as the contrarian guy.
Okay.
I am going to paint you as the ending guy that you are. Because I will say that I was fully expecting this criticism, is that I do think that like an hour and 15 minutes in was like the last truly good point to me, where I was like, okay, I've been having like 10 out of 10 fun with this. I started to have 9 or 8 out of 10 fun towards the last 45 minutes. I was like, okay, we're pushing this a little far. I think when they end the fight sequence at Cassandra Nova's lair or whatever is the moment where I was like, oh man, this movie's been really, really good up until now. And then after that, it was kind of like, oh, we're pushing this. We're not hitting heights that this last hour and 15 minutes has hit for me. And there were low points in the beginning, but I think that's fine. But it's just like the ending didn't flourish as much as I wanted it to. There's a lot of like easy stuff where it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna kill a bunch of Deadpools, and it's like, okay, that's not gonna work, and we just do a joke about it. That is stuff that I think ends up being a little bit lazy, but I don't mind it for what it is, and I don't mind watching it for sure. It's not effortful to have to like sit there,
I don't want to say it was effortful either. I want to say if you were like, hey, I don't think anyone's watching this being like, should I watch it? I think you already know if you were going to go watch it or not. But if you were like, should I watch it? Yes, it's fun. Go watch it, preferably in theaters. Don't wait for it to hit Disney Plus. This is much more of a theater movie than a living room movie. Do I think this deserves to be in the upper half of MCU movies? No. Do I think it's the best Deadpool movie? I did for a second,
I think at some
but
point
now
I
I
did
don't.
think,
No.
At some point I did think I wish this was the worst Marvel movie, But okay, here's part of what I'm saying with your argument. Is it's like 9 out of 10 fun for you, which is, let's say that's one half of it. And then it's 4 out of 10 movie to you.
But I think if I watched it again, it would be 2 out of 10 fun.
Really?
I'm saying it's just like, that was a nice, fun
For me,
theatrical moment.
it'd be at least equal because I didn't get to fucking watch parts of the movie the first time.
Okay, well that's just because we sat next to the Button Express baby.
Yeah, no. And did you hear him halfway through the movie? He's like, "Mom got pee. Mom got pee." Oh my god! Shut up, you little boy. Anyways, I do think, but like, okay, take those numbers, right? Because to me, do you think rewatchability has necessary?
That's a key part of a metric. Yeah, if something's not rewatchable, then it can't be perfect.
What?
That's a key metric. Yeah.
What? Why? Why is it key? Why
If you
can't
can
there
only
be
watch
movies that
something
just don't aim
once-
to be rewatchable? I feel like that is limiting the art form. It's like, okay, so movies always have to be rewatchable. Why can't I have
Yeah.
a movie that isn't rewatchable? Oh, I just want to watch it once. It was a good movie. It's still a movie, and I enjoyed it on its own merit, not by
That's
your
fine.
arbitrary metric of rewatchability.
Well, that's fine, but it's a C tier movie at best. Then I refuse to
have
put it
to
as
understand.
an upper end movie. It has to
Okay.
be so good that you want to see it again. It has to be so good that you like share it with somebody. It has to be so good that you feel compelled to talk about it. And someone's like, I got to see that. And you're like, you know what? I want to see that with you again because it's so good. And like, then we could talk about it. And I want it to be like, I want to refresh it in my mind. You know, I want to visit it again.
I can understand some of it, but key is what I'm saying. Like,
Okay,
I can
think about this.
imagine conceptually a movie that is amazing but completely rewatchable.
Let me give you a metaphor of like you go on a date and that date is perfect, but you don't want to see them again. So what are you saying about that person?
I don't know. I feel like you, in a different scenario of this conversation, would say like, yeah, it was good while it was, and then now it's over.
Yeah, it's a
Like-
great person, but I mean, I didn't like that person enough to make them my partner for any significant
No,
amount of
but like,
time.
I am specifically thinking like if we ran into this line of logic somehow else that doesn't help your point, you would say these words. You would say, yeah, it was perfectly fine. I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. It was just over. There's nothing wrong with it. I just had a good time and it started and ended and that's it. That's what you would say to me if I was asking you the same question on the opposite side, but because it helps your point here, we're in a strange place.
But I don't feel like any of that's hypocritical to what I'm saying.
Not necessarily, but in that case, you are defending the fact that it doesn't need to be done again. And in this case, you are saying it needs to be able to be done again.
Are you trying to make the argument to me that a movie you would never watch again could be a top tier movie? Yes or no?
I think movies are so vastly different from each other that it is not a key metric whether or not something is rewatchable in terms of quality. Yes.
Do you think that you can go on a date with someone and never want to see them again, and that was your soulmate? Or that was someone worth marrying?
And never want to see them again?
Yeah.
That's so
Never
much
bother.
different. That has a will of its own. You got to figure out something else. Like, okay, do like a meal or something.
Okay,
'Cause
fine.
I mean,
If you go on a vacation somewhere and you have no desire to ever go back there again, is that a place worth living?
okay, no. But that is what I am saying is the inequality. A place worth living is not necessarily what that place is trying to be. It's trying to be a tourist destination. It is still a place. It is still a movie, but it's not trying to be rewatchable. It's not trying to provide you with the comforts of like a 15-minute city or whatever, you know?
Okay, but then I don't feel like I'm being hypocritical then. Deadpool is that. It's a vacation I never want to take again. And I'm not going to think about it ever again.
Yeah, but when I ask you, hey, what's your favorite place? Or like what are good places? And you like tell me about this vacation spot, you don't go 4 out of 10. Because I couldn't live there. You don't say that. You don't say 4 out of 10, I couldn't live there. You don't do that. You go 9 out of 10, it was a great vacation spot.
Yeah, and if someone was like, hey, should I see Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine? I'd be like, I don't want to see it with you, but sure, I had a good time watching it the first time.
Yeah, and so somebody goes to you, hey, it was Deadpool, a good movie.
No.
See, that's where the disconnect is, I think. Here.
To me, you're asking, hey, do you want to go to Las Vegas again? No. I shouldn't have said Las Vegas. I do want to go to Las
You
Vegas.
do
I
want to
chose
go
a
to
bad
Las
city.
Vegas.
I chose a bad
just
city.
Said you.
I was just thinking of tourist destinations. But like, oh, hey, do you want to go to...
Hypocrite, loser.
Do you want to go to Tallahassee, Florida again? No. Did you have a fun time? Yeah. Was it a good vacation? Do you think I should go? I had a good time. I have no interest going with you though, and I don't want to hear your stories about it, and I don't want to see your pictures.
It sounds like you don't like it. Like when
I
you're telling me that, it's like, no, I fucking hate Tallahassee, Florida.
No, I had a good time.
That's what you're saying to me.
The food was great, and that's the equivalent of the action scenes. Like, yeah, I went to 2 great restaurants, delicious restaurants.
I don't think that this is equal at all.
Okay, well, we're going in circles.
Let's just say, like, arbitrarily, completely insane. The amount of people that work on everything that's not the script, is like hundreds. Crazy number. And they work hard, right? And the one guy, hypothetically, that writes the script didn't put in as much character as he could have. And you're like, okay, 4 out of 10. It's just like, oh, geez, maybe we could like equal out some of this grade on a curve a little bit and be like, okay, was it fun to watch? And go somewhere between 9 and 4 and go, okay, that's what a movie is. It is the combination of the 9 and the 4. Okay. Can we say this?
Okay.
Can it be a 13 out of 20?
What if we simplified that? That'd be 12 out of 10, 26 out of 10. Oh, you meant me to say like over 6 out of 10?
No, I'm saying it's a 13 out of 20. It didn't get enough points in one department and didn't get points, in another department, and that's about where it is. Because then I think my metric is actually closer to yours. I think I probably go 6 out of 10 on writing, and then I go 10 out of 10 on the other one, and I'm like 16 out of 10.
If you don't edit it all, it looks like a student messaged me on this, so like whatever, I'll stay in and I'm a teacher or whatever. But like I've had people who wrote essays that are like short stories, and I tell them, awful essay, awful, garbage, 2 out of 10, but hey, that was a great short story. And so like I do double rubric all the time. Like I give them compliments for the short story, but it's still like you didn't do the thing you're supposed to do. And that's what this movie is to me. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. You didn't make a movie. You made an experience. 10 out of 10 experience.
Is it helpful to say, is it like a worthwhile metric to say that it was just bad, like a bad movie altogether? Because then you have to put asterisks on that are like, it's a bad movie, but I think you should watch it. I was like, well, why? And it's like, no, it's a good movie for what it is. That's the overall thing you always say for what it is, and you say good or bad. And that's
okay, but I'm not even saying. I'm saying if you like Marvel, you'll enjoy it. If you like Deadpool, you'll enjoy it. If someone who's never seen any Marvel, any Deadpool says, should I see it? I say no. No, this is like okay.
For what it is, which is for a Marvel fan. Yes, exactly. He's just, what is it that you just threw down?
A scrunchie.
Nice.
Anyways, can I give you one more note about the movie? I don't know if we're toward the end of this review.
Yeah, we have to.
It's a compliment.
Go for it.
Okay. Good screenwriting. The opening montage of Deadpool killing the TVA, he's like waving his head around. He's like spinning in circles and dancing. And it's always good. That's like more or less the opening image, I guess. The fight sequence is the opening image. But like that could be said as a core piece of it. And then they do a good tie in because when they're holding hands and they're like doing the time strands, their heads are also rolling, but in like in a different context. And that's good. Good writing.
Okay. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of other little things like that are nice about this movie, just here and there. I don't know. I really like that they brought X-23 back.
Yeah, I think that was nice.
I think she did a good job for what little screen time she had.
Yeah.
I think everybody else was great. I just, I didn't think they could bring back Hugh Jackman's Wolverine as well as they did, but it felt right.
I think he's always a solid performer. I wasn't worried about that, and I think.
But it's good. In terms of like justification that I think is necessary. I don't think any other character but Deadpool could really do it in a way that isn't hammy.
Sure.
Like I could see a Doctor Strange movie where that's the same premise or whatever, but it's like it's just like played too seriously.
Sure. Did you say all the compliments you wanted to about this movie?
No, you've blue-balled me.
Do you want to list them off real quick?
No, you've blue balled me. I like short Wolverine.
Yeah, that was a good joke. If anyone watches Cosmonaut Variety Hour, I doubt anyone needs a plug from a smaller channel like us.
Yeah,
But
go watch Cosmonaut.
He's
You've
been
probably never heard of
craving.
him.
He says he's like the one person who doesn't like Hugh Jackman because he's not short and he likes comic accuracy. So there you go. There's your little thing. I'm sure he'll make that comment in his.
Who's
review,
the person you got spoiled for you? Chris Evans?
Chris Evans, yeah, as Human Torch specifically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel like that would add something for you not knowing.
Maybe. Well, I like I said this earlier, all those callbacks, all those cameos and secondary characters, that's for me, and I still don't like it.
Why? How do you think it could have
You
been
can't
done?
ask why, Jared. Rewind. Listen to the podcast. We've already talked about it. You can't ask why.
You're acting like I'm being insane, but I'm not. You're saying it's all good and you had fun, but you're like, I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It's not a movie. It's not a movie. I didn't like it. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know how to explain it better to you than I did. I had a great time on our
I don't
date.
know how to explain
You're
it
just
to
not
you.
the one for me. You're just not the one for me.
That's why we can't ever do this again. Channel's over.
I just don't want to see you again. But I had a great time. Nothing you did made me had a bad time. But like,
Yeah,
you're not
just
what I'm
the
looking
one.
for.
We just watched How I Met Your Mother. We just watched it.
Yeah.
And
Does
she's
it make
just
sense?
not the one.
Yeah, and you're like, it's my birthday. I just came out. It's the premiere. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
And he's the asshole. You're
He's
the
supposed to
asshole.
be- Oh, wait, no, wait. No, you're the... Yeah. No, I'm okay being the asshole. I just genuinely don't think I'm going to think about this movie next week.
I'm going to make sure you do.
Okay, but that's
I'm never going to shut
sabotage.
up about it.
I've never thought... I'm only thinking about it in the context
What do
of
you
this.
think about
I've
from
genuinely-
Marvel movies you like?
Okay. Genuinely. If you can... I will only believe what I want to hear. So just keep that in mind. Okay?
What the fuck?
I will only believe what I want to hear.
Okay.
Have you genuinely thought about the Spider-Man movie? Spider-Man 3. I forget what it's called.
No Way Home?
No Way Home, yeah.
All the time.
All the time?
All the time.
You're crazy. I think you're crazy.
You're insane. I love Spider-Man.
I never think I love
Spider-Man's
Spider-Man.
my fucking comfort character.
I love
I
Spider-Man
think about
too.
it all the time.
I think of Spider-Man a lot. I don't think about that
You
movie,
should
though.
wish. You should wish to be able to do something with 2 failed movie franchise reboots. You should wish
That's
to be
what
able
this
to do
movie
that
is.
in the way that it did.
Sure.
Okay, think about that sometimes.
I think it's a good
you
experience.
You should aim for that.
It warmed my heart seeing it. And I was like, wow, they thought of it. They did it. It was pretty good as an experience.
And I
But
wish I wasn't
will-
here right now.
And I never said that. I never said about this movie either. I just won't
But
think about it again.
that's the drasticness of where you're going.
No, I just won't think about it again. I genuinely
Your
haven't.
bloodline's over. Your children will forget you. History has your name written nowhere.
I do feel that way, yes. History will not remember Deadpool and Wolverine, yes.
I'm not
Other
being
than-
crazy. You're
other
saying
than-
positive things, and then your general review is meh.
Yeah.
What do you think about from other Marvel movies you like? Yeah.
Can it just be more specific? Can you just ask there's fucking 30 movies to pick from. Which one?
I'm giving you all the options at that point.
I think about
Jesus.
Iron Man 1 a lot. I think about Captain America 1 a lot. I think about the Captain America franchise a lot.
Hey, what do you think about Eternals?
I don't think about that movie, actually.
Okay.
But I think
So
that it's still a
we're-
good movie, though.
we're-
It has what I want from a movie. It's the inverse for me. I didn't think the experience was very fun. It was like a thinker. It was non-linear. You had to keep track of shit. There was like 10 characters you were introduced to that all have hard names. The experience was bad,
so
actually.
it was an anime. I see what it has to be now. God damn it.
I'm just saying that's actually a good comparison in terms of, Eternals was a bad experience, but I think it's a good movie. This was an easy experience, very fun, but it's a bad movie, and I won't think about it again.
What'd you think about from Black Panther 2?
I thought it was really interesting. I like how they handled the event of Chadwick Boseman dying. That's another hey, we have this thing we have to deal with this concept, and I think they did it really
That's
well.
the
But it's a movie. I know, Jared. How many times do you want me to say it? I think they did a good job with the concept. They thought about it. It's an interesting concept. I like the homage to the Fox properties. It's for me. I'm the one who saw those movies in theaters, and I loved them, and I thought about
I
them
don't
all the
know
time.
if it's for you. I think it requires more than
I
3
think I'm
brain
the target
cells.
audience. I think I'm the target audience. Hey, we want to make this movie for the people who really like the Fox properties, as a core, audience demographic. I'm that, and I appreciate it. And
But
I think
how
they did a
much do you
good
think
job.
your perspective of it would have changed if you hadn't seen the hot ones?
Not that much.
Okay,
That's
that's comforting to me.
it just bolsters my opinion because I know that they wanted to make a movie. Ryan Reynolds
Uh-huh.
reveals in that interview that it's meant to be a movie, and I say,
Uh-huh.
no, sorry. Good experience though. And just so you know,
Can we
I
just
love
edit the
Infinity War.
vocabulary?
Just so you know, I love Infinity War. Same criticisms.
Can we just edit the vocabulary? A movie.
So then it's just
and
semantics then.
on some level, yeah.
Okay, fine. What semantics you want to hear?
I just think saying something is not a movie is clinically insane.
I'm saying it's a bad movie. It is a movie.
No, I feel like it's undeniable that you just said it's not a movie.
Okay, well, I keep
Can
meaning
we
to say it's a
not
bad movie.
cerebral?
Sure.
Okay, that makes me a little bit happier. But I do think my 13 out of 20 metric is closer to where I want to be with this.
You remember when we watched the Hunger Games spoof, Starving Games?
Yeah.
Is that a movie to you?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a bad movie.
If you want me to say that isn't cerebral, then fine. But it's more or less a bunch of sketches tied together, making a giant homage to the Hunger Games.
I think mostly
like-
what it matters to me is like what medium am I sitting down to engage with, and like how do I frame my understanding of it going in. And so it's like, okay, a movie, I'm gonna sit here, try to watch it for the entire runtime, and like, yes, engage with some characters or whatever, but also, tend to appreciate the actual level of movie making in it. Which none of the Starving Games didn't do any of that.
Okay. Genuinely, unless you want to like talk about something positive after this, I'd like this to be the closer. Okay, here's what I'm gonna ask you to do,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna just respond, and that's it. Okay.
What the fuck?
And then we can talk about positives, or we can end it. Okay. We have to find a closing remark. So here's what I'm gonna ask you to do. Okay. You're the teacher. Okay. I'm the grader. You tell me what the assignment was. Tell me what the assignment was for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'll tell you the grade. Okay.
Okay.
Because if it's let's just be transparent. If you said like Oscar movie, I think we'd both agree F.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. So that wasn't the assignment.
Yeah.
That's not how I'm trying to grade it.
If you want to make an Oscar movie, don't make a Marvel movie.
If you say mindless fun, I'm gonna say A+. Okay.
Okay.
You whatever you want the rubric to be. That's the sort of arbitrary binary there between Oscar and mindless fun. Mindless fun we get an A+, Oscar an F-, whatever. Okay, go. You tell me what the rubric is, or tell me what the assignment was.
It wanted to be the kind of movie that makes little kids press the buttons on their seats for 90 minutes and then have to pee.
Okay. A+. Now tell me your real answer.
I was willing to leave it on a joke. We don't have to fight. I was willing to leave it on a joke. We don't have to fight.
No. Just tell me your real answer. I'm going to give you my real grade, and then we're going to move on.
I spent a little bit of time creating the joke, so you're going to have to just...
Nice. That's good improv technique. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the joke so you could think in the background. Okay. Bad improv.
That's even worse. I spent the time on the joke, and now I don't have the actual answer. No. Okay. I think it was aiming to be a fun celebration of past failed Marvel stuff, as well as a... introduction of Deadpool under the Disney umbrella.
Okay, I'll give it an A-. I think Human Torch should have gotten a cool scene. Other than that, A- for that assignment.
Okay, this feels patronizing. It feels a little patronizing.
I'm not patronizing. It's genuinely my opinion. Okay. All right. Do you want to talk about positives before ending the episode?
It's gonna make me want to watch Elektra, and I don't think I'm gonna have a good time.
Elektra's pretty middling.
But it was kind of cool in this movie.
Yeah, Elektra was cool in this movie. Elektra doesn't have cool fight scenes in their own movie. Yeah. And it's more drama than you'd want, I think.
Really?
But like CW drama. Like
but
not
Ben
movie
Affleck
drama.
Daredevil, good or no?
No, well that drama CW drama too, but it did have cool action sequences, I think. And there's some good camp. There's a moment, the villain in that movie is Bullseye, and Bullseye's on an airplane, and there's this grandma who's like choking. Or no, she's not choking. I think she's just eating really loudly. She's doing something to annoy Bullseye. And so Bullseye asks the flight attendant for peanuts, and then he like perfectly throws it to where it goes in the grandma's throat, and she like chokes to death right in front of him. But it's all campy. But it's like, but it's cool. It's
that
like,
does sound good.
Yeah, it's good. There's good camp. Good stuff in it.
Anybody you would have wished to see?
As a Fox property, I think they could have easily done the Invisible Woman joke. I meant to say that earlier. Just feels like you could have said Sandra Bullock was there.
It's not Sandra
And that feels
Bullock.
like Deadpool. Is it not Sandra Bullock?
No. Hey, babe, who plays the Invisible Woman in the Fantastic Four?
Oh yeah, Sandra Bullock's way too famous for that. It's Jessica
Jessica
Alba.
Alba.
That's I don't know.
She'd also have to be. Oh wait, no, that was only at the beginning of the movie where she's naked.
Yeah.
But she never truly knew.
It's not the beginning, but it's the middle of the second one.
No, it's the middle of the first one. She gets naked and she holds the bridge up.
Yeah. Okay. So you can take it again in the Silver Surfer one where they switch powers with.
It would have
Johnny
made
Storm.
way more money.
Well, anyways, it just feels like that might have been a Deadpool joke where you have the Invisible Woman there.
Yeah.
Try to think quickly about any other.
We already
Fox
did
properties.
that in the second one though. The guy was invisible in the second.
Oh, I know.
The
We'll
second
just do it
Deadpool.
again. Deadpool can just make a comment on that too. We already did this. Whatever. And move on.
I'm just saying we gotta acknowledge that.
Endless potential.
Do you think that the joke about there never being another Blade meant that, oh, but there's a Blade coming? Or do you think the look at the camera meant, oh, Blade's never getting made? I couldn't tell what that punchline was.
I bet Blade has like a son in the comics, and they'll just do that. I bet they'll leave the Blade legacy alone, and it really only will be.
But like Deadpool looks at the camera.
Alden.
What do you think that punchline is? Like that there already is going to be another Blade, or that Blade movie's never getting made, and he's right.
I don't think the Blade movie's ever coming out.
Do you think Deadpool knew that, or do you think Deadpool was making that? You're not listening.
I don't think a Blade movie is going to be. I don't think a new one's going to be made.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking what
I
you
think-
thought Deadpool thinks.
I think he thinks that will be the only true Blade,
Gotcha. Thanks.
and because there won't be another
Fucking
thing.
Jesus Christ.
I just typed in Fox superhero movies real quick. Captain Underpants would have been interesting.
No.
Any of the Ninja Turtles could have been cool.
I could have. That's possible.
There were some Free Guy references I caught.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Reynolds basically just does the same joke where he kills himself. And
Yeah. How'd you feel about Nice Pool? I thought that was
didn't
pretty
like Nice
middling.
Pool. Yeah, pretty middling.
I like the dog though. All right, well, I think that's pretty much all I have to say.
I was just looking at them all. Yeah, that seems to be the only interesting ones they could have done. They own Dragon Ball. Goku could have been in there.
No way.
They own Dragon Ball Evolution. That
Okay,
Goku could have been in there.
that would have been a deep cut. Jesus Christ.
Another good one for me. All right, well, hopefully you enjoyed this review. It did kind of just
Hopefully.
become us yelling at each other about
but
semantics.
I mean,
but-
this is what the comments are for.
Yeah.
Teach
Let
Austin
us-
what's wrong with him.
Yeah, let us know if you like Deadpool. Hopefully.
Austin does succumb to peer pressure, so enough.
No, I don't.
Yeah, so enough negative feedback, he'll go, you know what, maybe I was wrong.
All
He's mature like
I would
that.
want from the comments is to be like, I get what Austin's saying. He's saying good experience, bad movie. Jared doesn't get it. That'd be my dream. I would
just
heart
saying,
that comment.
just like,
Oh,
even if
God.
it's
We started the cycle again.
even if it's only 5 points compared to the 10 of actual cerebral, like you do a 10-point cerebral score and you do a 5-point on non-cerebral. It's like that's the total score, So it's like you would do fucking cerebral 4 and then 4 whatever. So it's like an 8 out of 15.
I don't like this because I don't think every movie has to be an experience.
No. Yeah, I guess you're right, but not every movie has to be cerebral either.
Sure, but that was your word, not mine.
Yeah, but your bias is in favor of those now. Like your metric is in favor of those.
I just feel like we've already done the arcs. There wasn't any real character moments. Everything was superficial. It was just cool action scenes.
Yeah, keep looking for the arcs in the trash while they're doing a cool ass fight scene over here. That's what I'm saying.
Cool, and I'll give you a 10 out of 10 for the action scene and a 0 out of 10 for everything else.
Okay. So
All right,
we
thanks
can
so much for
agree on
listening to
5.
Smack
We
Talk.
went up 1 point, buddy. Let's go.
Thanks so much for listening, Smack Talk. Please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time. We'll see you next time. I'll see you next time.
I'll see you next time, Austin.
Hey, Jared, thanks for coming to Smack Talk.
Thanks for having me.